Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I have another short one for you. I'm going to be changing all 5 Syncros in this B18 LS trans. First thing I'm going to do is loosen up all these 12mm bolts on the housing, and then I'm going to pull out this plug. There's a retaining clip that you have to separate. Usually I use needle nose, that's the easiest for me. You just spread it open. And then there's 3 more bolts you have to take off the housing. 2 are 12 mils, which hold the D10 springs, and the other one's a 14, and it holds the reverse gear. Here's a closer look at those D10 spring bolts. There's springs and then a ball at the end. After you get all that done, all you gotta do is pry the housing apart, and then in this case I use the hammer on the other side to break the Honda bond the rest of the way loose. I like to leave the bolts in the case usually just so they don't get lost. After that, there's 5 10mm bolts that you have to remove to get the forks out. Once you take those out, you just pull straight up on the input shaft and the counter shaft, and they come right out. These little gold or bronze teeth you're seeing are the actual Syncros. So I'm putting in carbon Syncros. The only difference between carbon Syncros and factory Syncros are carbon Syncros have a little carbon lining to slow the Syncro down more, just so it's easier to shift. The whole stack on the input shaft comes right out, so I usually just line it up, and then I changed them all just when they were sitting on the table like that, and then I put it back in the case just to hold it. This other stack, on the other hand, the counter shaft, is much more of a pain. You have to pull the bearings up top off with the puller, and then there's another gear that I also had to use a puller to get off. Other than that, it's all relatively simple. You just have to put everything back in the exact order it came. After you throw both the shafts and all the forks back in, all you have to do is clean the mating surface. Throw some Honda bond on there, and then the hardest thing I've found is actually getting the case back on. It's kind of a pain, but yeah, here's the motor it's going on, and thanks for watching.
You ain't got my money on my